StoryShots is proud to bring you this free audiobook summary. Do you want to get access to more free audiobook summaries like this? Subscribe and click the bell button now to get notified each time we upload a new summary. You can also download our free app and enjoy thousands of other summaries of best-selling nonfiction books that are available in text, audio, and animated formats. StoryShots has been featured by Apple, Google, and The Guardian as one of the world's best reading and learning apps. Go to getstoryshots.com and download the app today.
Elon Musk by Walter Isaacson. Biography audiobook summary and review by StoryShots.
Life gets busy. Has Elon Musk been on your reading list? Learn the key insights now. We're scratching the surface here. If you don't already have Walter Isaacson's best-selling book on entrepreneurship and innovation, get the audiobook for free using the link in the description or the StoryShots app to learn the juicy details.
One-sentence summary.
Elon Musk by Walter Isaacson reveals the mind of the world's most ambitious entrepreneur, showing how his relentless drive and vision could reshape humanity's future or lead it to disaster.
Introduction.
What drives someone to launch rockets, build electric cars, and buy Twitter all at the same time? How does one person juggle saving the planet and colonizing Mars? Walter Isaacson spent 2 years following Elon Musk around the world. He watched board meetings, rocket launches, and late-night Twitter binges. The result is a raw, unfiltered look at the man behind Tesla, SpaceX, and more companies than most people could handle. This isn't just another success story. It's a deep dive into how genius and chaos can live in the same person. You'll discover the childhood trauma that shaped Musk's worldview. You'll see how his demon mode drives innovation but destroys relationships. Most importantly, you'll learn the thinking patterns that built multiple billion-dollar companies.
About Walter Isaacson.
Walter Isaacson has written the definitive biographies of our time's most important figures. His previous books on Steve Jobs, Leonardo da Vinci, and Albert Einstein became bestsellers for good reason. He gets unprecedented access to his subjects. Isaacson was the CEO of CNN and editor of Time magazine. He knows how to tell complex stories in simple terms. When he decides to spend 2 years with someone, you know that person is shaping our world. His Musk biography is the most intimate look we'll ever get at the entrepreneur who might determine humanity's future.
Who this book is for.
This book is for you if you want to understand how breakthrough innovation really happens. You're building something ambitious and need inspiration to keep going. You're curious about the psychology behind extreme success. You work in tech and want to learn from Musk's management style. You've ever wondered what it takes to change entire industries.
StoryShot 1. Turn childhood pain into unstoppable drive.
Elon Musk's story starts with hurt. Growing up in South Africa, he faced brutal bullying at school. Kids would beat him up and throw him downstairs. At home, his father Errol was emotionally abusive, calling Elon worthless and stupid. Most people let childhood trauma hold them back. Musk used it as fuel. He developed what Isaacson calls demon mode, a dark psychological state where he becomes ruthless and demanding. This mode destroys relationships but creates revolutionary companies. This emotional shut-off valve could make him callous, but it also made him a risk-seeking innovator. He learned to shut down fear. If you turn off fear, then maybe you have to turn off other things like joy or empathy. Walter Isaacson. How to apply this? You don't need trauma to succeed, but you do need something that drives you when things get hard. What pain in your life could you transform into purpose? What injustice makes you angry enough to spend years fixing it? The key insight: your deepest pain often points to your greatest mission. Musk's childhood feelings of powerlessness drove him to build companies that give humans more power over their environment and future. What childhood experience shaped your drive to succeed? Share your story in the comments. We'd love to hear how you turn challenges into motivation.
Story Shot 2. Master First Principles Thinking to break through limits.
When Musk wanted to make rockets cheaper, everyone said it was impossible. Rockets had always been expensive. That's just how the industry worked. Musk didn't accept this logic. Instead, he used first principles thinking. He broke down a rocket into its basic materials: aluminum, titanium, carbon fiber, and some electronics. The raw materials cost only 2% of a rocket's selling price. Everything else was markup and inefficiency. This approach led to SpaceX's breakthrough innovations. While competitors built rockets like they always had, Musk's team designed everything from scratch. They made rockets that could land and be reused. They cut launch costs by 90%. How to apply this? When someone tells you, "That's just how it's done," dig deeper. Ask, what are we really trying to accomplish? What laws of physics actually apply here? What would this look like if we started over today? First principles thinking works in any field. Instead of copying what others do, understand the fundamental truths and build up from there.
Story Shot 3. Create hardcore culture to push human limits.
Musk believes comfort breeds mediocrity. At every company he runs, he creates what he calls hardcore culture. Employees work long hours, meet impossible deadlines, and push beyond what they thought possible. This approach sounds harsh, and it is. Many employees burn out. Some call Musk a difficult boss. But the results speak for themselves. SpaceX achieved in 15 years what NASA took 50 years to accomplish. The hardcore culture has specific elements, extremely high standards that most people think are impossible, rapid iteration and constant testing, no tolerance for bureaucracy or slow decision-making, direct feedback even when it hurts feelings, shared mission that feels bigger than any individual. How to apply this? You don't need to copy Musk's intensity exactly, but you can adopt the principle. What would your work look like if you refused to accept good enough? How could you create urgency around your most important goals? The balance is key. Push hard enough to achieve breakthroughs, but not so hard that you destroy people in the process.
Story Shot 4. Use manufacturing as your secret weapon.
Most tech entrepreneurs focus on design and software. Musk obsesses over manufacturing. He spends hours on factory floors, studying every step of the production process. At Tesla, this obsession led to revolutionary changes in car manufacturing. Traditional automakers use thousands of parts and complex supply chains. Tesla simplified everything. They reduced the number of parts, eliminated unnecessary steps, and brought more production in-house. Musk calls this the machine that builds the machine. The product is important, but the system that makes the product is even more important. Get manufacturing right, and you can produce better products faster and cheaper than anyone else. How to apply this? Whatever you're building, study the process of building it. Where are the bottlenecks? What steps don't add value? How could you simplify or eliminate unnecessary complexity? This applies beyond physical products. If you're building a service business, what's your manufacturing process for delivering value to customers? How could you make it more efficient? Do you think Musk's hardcore culture is necessary for breakthrough innovation, or does it go too far? Let us know your thoughts and share this audiobook if you found it insightful.
Story Shot 5. Bet everything on your vision when others doubt.
By 2008, both Tesla and SpaceX were nearly bankrupt. The financial crisis made funding impossible. Musk had a choice: save one company or risk losing both. Instead of playing it safe, Musk doubled down. He put his last $35 million into the companies. He lived off loans from friends. He was 3 days away from complete financial ruin when Tesla finally closed a funding round. What I didn't appreciate is that Elon starts with a mission and later finds a way to backfill in order to make it work financially. That's what makes him a force of nature. Walter Isaacson. This wasn't reckless gambling. Musk had studied the fundamentals. Electric cars were inevitable due to battery cost curves and environmental pressure. Space transportation needed disruption because costs were too high. He bet on what he knew was technically possible, even when markets disagreed. How to apply this? There's a difference between foolish risk and calculated risk based on fundamental analysis. When you truly understand your market and technology, you can be more confident than others who only see surface-level data. The key is having deep conviction based on first principles analysis, not just optimism or ego.
Story shot 6. Design products that create emotional connection.
Musk doesn't just want to make functional products. He wants to make products that people love. Tesla cars aren't just transportation, they're statements about the future. SpaceX rockets aren't just delivery vehicles, they're symbols of human ambition. This emotional connection drives customer loyalty and attracts top talent. Engineers don't join SpaceX just for the salary. They join because they want to help make life multi-planetary. Tesla customers don't just buy cars, they buy into a vision of sustainable transportation. The emotional element also drives Musk himself. He's not motivated by money. He's famously cash poor despite being worth hundreds of billions. He's motivated by the feeling that he's helping secure humanity's future. How to apply this? What's the deeper meaning behind what you're building? How does your product or service connect to people's values and aspirations? Can you articulate why your work matters beyond just making money? Products that create emotional connection command premium prices and generate passionate customers who become advocates.
Story shot 7. Move fast and break things, but learn from every failure.
SpaceX's early rockets kept exploding. Tesla's first cars had quality problems. Normal companies would slow down and add more testing. Musk did the opposite. He moved faster. The key insight: fast iteration beats perfect planning. Every failure teaches you something you couldn't learn any other way. If you wait until you're sure everything will work, competitors will pass you by. But Musk doesn't just break things randomly. Each failure gets analyzed intensely. SpaceX conducts detailed reviews of every test, even successful ones. They look for what could have gone wrong and how to prevent it next time. How to apply this? In your work, where are you moving too slowly because you're afraid of failure? How could you run smaller, faster experiments to learn what works? The goal isn't to fail, it's to learn faster than your competition. Set up experiments where failure is cheap but learning is valuable.
Story shot 8. Vertically integrate to control your destiny.
Most companies buy parts from suppliers and focus on assembly. Musk does the opposite. He brings everything in-house when possible. SpaceX makes its own engines, flight computers, and even the screws that hold rockets together. This approach costs more upfront but provides crucial advantages. Complete control over quality and timelines. Ability to innovate across the entire system. Better integration between components. Protection from supply chain disruptions. When Tesla needed batteries, they didn't just buy from suppliers, they built their own factory. When SpaceX needed internet for Mars missions, they didn't partner with existing providers. They launched Starlink. How to apply this? Where are you dependent on others for critical parts of your business? What capabilities could you bring in-house to gain more control over quality and innovation? The key is knowing which parts to control directly, usually the most important or innovative elements, and which to outsource, standard components where you don't need differentiation. Which of Musk's strategies resonates most with your own entrepreneurial journey? Join the conversation by leaving a comment and share this audiobook summary with someone who needs entrepreneurial inspiration.
Story shot 9. Use artificial deadlines to create breakthrough performance.
Musk is famous for setting deadlines that seem impossible. He told the Tesla team to build a factory in a tent. He promised SpaceX would reach Mars by 2024. They probably won't. Critics say he's always late. But here's what critics miss. The impossible deadlines force breakthrough thinking. When you have normal timelines, you make normal improvements. When you have crazy deadlines, you have to completely rethink how things work. Even when Musk misses his deadlines, his teams achieve things no one thought possible. Tesla went from a startup to the world's most valuable automaker faster than anyone predicted. SpaceX revolutionized space travel in record time. How to apply this? What goal could you set that forces you to think completely differently about how you work? What deadline would make you question every assumption about your process? The key is making deadlines ambitious enough to force innovation, but not so impossible that people give up.
Story shot 10. Build multiple companies to hedge against failure.
Most entrepreneurs focus on one company at a time. Musk runs 6 companies simultaneously: Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, The Boring Company, X, formerly Twitter, and XAI. This sounds crazy, but there's method to the madness. Each company serves the same ultimate mission, ensuring humanity's survival and growth. Tesla reduces dependence on fossil fuels. SpaceX makes life multiplanetary. Neuralink helps humans keep up with AI. The Boring Company solves urban transportation. While other entrepreneurs struggled to develop a worldview, he developed a cosmic view. Walter Isaacson. Having multiple companies also provides strategic advantages. Technologies developed for one company often help another. Tesla's battery expertise helps SpaceX. SpaceX's manufacturing innovations help Tesla. How to apply this? You probably shouldn't start 6 companies at once, but you can think in systems. How do your different projects reinforce each other? What skills or technologies could transfer between areas of your work? The key insight is that ambitious goals often require multiple approaches working together, not just one perfect solution.
Story shot 11. Embrace controversy when it serves your mission.
Musk's Twitter acquisition and management style created massive controversy. Many people criticized his decisions and approach, but Musk wasn't trying to win popularity contests. He was trying to preserve free speech as he understood it. This willingness to accept criticism in service of his mission shows up throughout Musk's career. He challenged the auto industry when everyone said electric cars would never work. He competed with NASA when people said private companies couldn't do space exploration. The pattern: Musk does what he believes is right for the long-term mission, even when it creates short-term backlash. He's willing to be misunderstood if it means making progress on important problems. How to apply this? Where might you be holding back because you're afraid of criticism? What important work are you avoiding because it might be controversial? The key is making sure the controversy serves a larger purpose, not just seeking attention for its own sake.
Story shot 12. Plan for humanity's biggest challenges.
Musk thinks about problems most people don't even consider. What happens when Earth becomes uninhabitable? How do humans compete with artificial intelligence? How do we handle climate change and energy scarcity? These concerns drive all his business decisions. Tesla addresses climate change through sustainable transport and energy. SpaceX addresses existential risk by making life multiplanetary. Neuralink addresses AI risk by enhancing human capabilities. This long-term thinking creates enormous business opportunities. By working on humanity's biggest challenges, Musk builds companies with massive addressable markets. Solving important problems is profitable. How to apply this? What major challenges do you see coming in your industry or society? How could you position yourself to help solve them? What problems are people not paying attention to that might become huge opportunities? The biggest business opportunities often come from solving problems that seem too big or too far in the future for most people to consider.
Final summary and review.
Elon Musk by Walter Isaacson shows us that extraordinary achievement requires extraordinary approaches. Musk's methods are intense, controversial, and often painful for himself and others, but they produce results that seemed impossible. The key insights from Musk's approach: use first principles thinking to break through conventional limits. Create urgency and high standards to push human performance. Vertically integrate to control quality and innovation. Move fast, fail fast, and learn from every mistake. Think in systems and plan for humanity's biggest challenges. Accept controversy when it serves your mission. Turn personal pain into unstoppable drive. Musk isn't perfect. His management style hurts people. His deadlines create unrealistic pressure. His personal life suffers from his intense focus on work. The book doesn't hide these flaws. It shows them as part of the complete picture. The question isn't whether you should copy Musk exactly. The question is, what elements of his approach could help you achieve your own ambitious goals? How could you adapt his methods to fit your values and situation? Musk's story proves that individuals can still change the world. In an age of large corporations and bureaucracy, one person with the right combination of vision, determination, and thinking tools can reshape entire industries. What will you do with that knowledge? Which of these 12 story shots will you put into practice first? Comment below with your choice and share this summary with someone who could benefit from Musk's lessons.
Related audiobook summaries on story shots.
More Visionary Biographies by Walter Isaacson. Steve Jobs. Isaacson's previous masterpiece reveals how Jobs combined technology with humanities to create revolutionary products. Compare his design obsession with Musk's manufacturing focus. Leonardo da Vinci. History's greatest polymath shows how curiosity and cross-disciplinary thinking lead to breakthrough innovations, principles Musk applies across multiple industries. Entrepreneurship and Innovation. 0 to 1. PayPal co-founder Peter Thiel explains how to create monopolistic businesses through innovation rather than competition. The strategy behind Musk's industry disruption. The Lean Startup. Eric Ries's methodology of rapid iteration and learning from failure mirrors Musk's approach at SpaceX and Tesla. Good to Great. Jim Collins reveals what separates exceptional companies from merely good ones, principles that align with Musk's hardcore culture approach. First Principles and Systems Thinking. Thinking, Fast and Slow. Nobel laureate Daniel Kahneman explains how to avoid cognitive biases when applying first principles thinking like Musk. Principles. Ray Dalio's systematic approach to decision-making complements Musk's algorithmic problem-solving methods. Psychology of Success. Mindset. Carol Dweck's research on growth mindset explains the psychological foundation behind embracing failure and continuous learning. Grit. Angela Duckworth's findings on passion and perseverance reveal the psychology behind Musk's relentless pursuit of ambitious missions.
Criticism.
Isaacson's biography is comprehensive but sometimes feels too sympathetic to Musk. The book includes criticism from former employees and family members, but Isaacson often seems to excuse Musk's harmful behavior by pointing to his achievements. The book also lacks diversity in perspectives. Most sources are wealthy, white, male engineers, and executives. We hear less from people of color, women, and workers lower in the company hierarchies who might have different experiences with Musk's leadership style. Despite these limitations, the book provides valuable insights into how breakthrough innovation happens and what it costs in human terms.
Rating.
We rate Elon Musk by Walter Isaacson 4 out of 5 stars. How would you rate the book based on this audiobook summary? The book succeeds in its main goal, helping readers understand how Musk thinks and operates. Whether you love him or hate him, understanding his methods provides lessons for anyone trying to build something ambitious.